This isn't just a group stage where, hey, if you take a loss, you move on, you can get them next week. This is when you start having lives. This is when these teams only had 2 lives. This is a double elimination bracket. If you lose this game, then you're going to be writing 1 life for the rest of the tournament. So, this is when things are going to get tough. This is when matches are going to get close, and this is when players, they have to start showing up.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're at the worst moment and it's at the hardest it could be, that's when you step up the most, right? We got players here that can step up to the moment. We got ourselves Delaware. We got ourselves Texas Tech. And I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. Both of these teams, their stories are very interesting, I think it's fair to say. I mean, let's start with Texas Tech because I think their story is a bit more simple. I think it's fair to say. Would you say so?
Simple, and it has a decent bit of grounding in MCC already, right? MCC, they played last season, right? And they did make it to playoffs. So this is not a stage that they're unfamiliar with. But, in this case, they're kind of in the same situation that they ended up being in when it came to the playoffs last season, in a little bit of a lower bracket situation. I say it in quotes because obviously this is the plans, but coming out of a difficult group, and it's a situation that they're familiar with, but at the end of the day, it's not a situation you always want to be in.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But on the side of Delaware, it's a bit interesting. I mean, 0-3? 0-3, I believe, right? Or
Yes, I believe so.
0-3. I mean, I think we actually have the regular season standings here. We probably can show it off to you all to see what is up and what has gone on. And yes, we do. I mean, you can see 0-3, but man, does it feel like that is a lie of an 0-3, This is a team that they started off swinging in week 1. They were on stream. It was a 2-0 against Kansas State. And then they got reverse swept. And then they happened to play Oku. And that was a game 5 there. It was a loss for them there. And unfortunately, they went out with a bit of a whimper in the final week against UCF. It was a 3-0 sweep for UCF. But that's a team that became extremely strong. A team that we understand how good they are now. But Delaware, I think the score, it lies. They are not an 0-3 team. If they were put in any other group, they're probably 1-2 or 2-1, in all honesty.
Yeah, I do think that we didn't see them to their fullest extent. I do think they have a decent amount of potential, and well, all things considered, this is time that I think that it's going to start stepping through, because we're not too far away from getting into this match, and I feel like I should just start throwing out my prediction now, and I'm taking Delaware on this one. What about you?
Oh, you're going for Delaware. I think that's completely valid, but I think what we saw from Texas Tech last time we were reviewing them versus Nebraska on Sunday, it was a bit of a shocker what I saw out there. They lost 3-0, but it felt like that they had bits and pieces and that they were the ones causing the mistakes. They were the ones that failed themselves, really. But I think Texas Tech, they're not going to do that again. They know that they're better than that, and they're going to show it today. They're going to beat Delaware. But I think that means we're 1-1 on the desk here. And I think it might be time to go into this game, I think. Wouldn't you say so? And I think the players say so.
I think it is as well. We got a lot of players that are ready. Obviously, a little bit of a delay, so maybe just a little bit antsy to get into some of the action. I mean, I could definitely say on my end, I'm ready for this, as right off the bat, we're going to see some midfield play and some players jumping up, but after a quick shot and a quick deflection, this ball is heading straight back to midfield.
Yeah, we're on Champions Field here on Game 1's a bit different than you're used to, but, I think it kind of puts in the moment that they're dealing with. This is possibly the most important game in the series right away, right? You gotta make your mark early on, but that's a demo by TPG trying to make sure T-Chili does not have a chance. But now it's Moose. He had a bit of a rough one when we watched him against Nebraska, but can he turn this around? Here, going for the low 50. TPG is able to keep it well, but with no boost, it's not really a loss there for the side of Texas Tech. But right now, there's a big breakaway if you are the side of Delaware, and it's an opportunity. There will be a bit off, and Slism will be the one to keep control. Though Flick, that doesn't go his way. He just chases it, and yeah, it's going to be a bit neutral here.
A bit neutral this ball. Again, it's kind of just sitting here, crossing that midfield line every once in a while, going back and forth, and that might have been a shot opportunity. We'll see if we can get a follow-up here from S'mores. No, not able to capitalize on the chance that was presented to him. I feel like we've seen some just here and there, only one shot per team, but we're still pretty early on in this match, and right now, Delaware seems to be getting the better of things as a shot does come out from them, doubling their shot total, and a center here, but no one there to answer it. Flick up, and at least for the beginning part of this game, it seems like Delaware is getting the better end of things.
Yeah, but you're just going to try to put a shot on. It's going to be high again from Slism. In and out save possibly from a team. But no, TPG is just going to be off target. T-Chili's just going to clear this fast, and it will be enough to make sure S'mores can't reach it. Into the corner. It's going to be up on the ceiling, but a big 50 that goes the way of Delaware. Is that just in? No, it's slightly off, and TPG shot. It will be slightly high. Slism's able to reach it, put it to the side, but S'mores is there. Misses the boost, though, so this will make things a bit harder here for Delaware to keep an offensive go, and there it is with low boost. Can't really put a shot on. It's going to be S'mores' turn. A shot, though. It will be a double commit. It will be off, but it's still dicey here as it's Texas Tech getting all over themselves at the moment as the pressure keeps on mounting.
They definitely feel like they're on defense as a shot rings in, and that bounces straight to Yurtis off of that right post, right crossbar post, that nice top corner. I mean, if that wasn't a slot that was already going to go in, Delaware had all the pressure to follow it up no matter what happened. And finally, after about half a game of pressure, they get the goal they deserve.
Yeah, half a game, 8 shots. It was always going to be so many, but T-Chili is going to try to respond right away. Tries for the reset, can't get it, gets a 50. Will be off of Moose. He's going to try to put their shot. It's going to be a bit high. Slism jumps early. He's going to be off target. It's going to be T-Chili now, taking a 50. Moose shot. Is that in? Big save by Yurtis, but it's high. It's going to be T-Chili next. It's off the ceiling. Where's the teammate there? It will be Slism. Tries to go for the 50, can't do it. Moose, their shot. Upper 90. It's bouncing out in the round. It's good.
Oh my goodness, both of these teams really like those upper 90 shots, even if they can get a little bit testy as for whether or not they bounce and stay in. In this case, hey, Moose hit it low enough that that went down and bounce and in to tie up this game. And, you know, Texas Tech, they responded immediately to the pressure and all of the sort of constraining that Delaware was able to put on them. And we'll have to see how Delaware can answer to this, because we're playing in a little bit more of a in-between game right now.
Yeah, it's much more neutral. Moose is going to put a very high touch. That's going to be T-Chili to it. First, no, TPG will reach it, but uses all the boost for it. Yurtis, their turn. This is going to be off target by a significant amount, though. And S'mores has to deal with Chili trying to get in the way. It's going to be Tilly on this ball again, trying to take a 50. TPG with low boost. Feels like we've said that a lot this series, but it doesn't really matter. Guy's able to get a touch that lets his teammates get into the play.
And I mean, I feel like it's fair to say that they've been doing pretty good even with that low amount of boost at times. Most of the time it's, you know, when they're on that offensive half. Although right now he does have full and he is trying to do something with it. That clear will come out though, and they're going to take their moment to try and regroup. But Slism not going to have any patience with trying to let this Delaware team take advantage of any sort of reset that they have to do, as TPG now the one clearing it off to the other side, and a good amount of patience coming out from Texas Tech is going to make it so that there's a little bit of slow play happening here. Maybe a look center, and a little bit of a follow-up is going to come through. Slism able to extend this to 2 goals.
Yeah, T-Chili with the infield knows her teammate there, and Yurtis doesn't know what to worry about. And the shot behind was off target, but Yurtis respects it with the backflip end. It's enough to make it a goal lead here for Texas Tech. After that start, after those first 2 minutes where it felt like it was pretty much all Delaware, it's been Texas Tech kind of chilling with this neutral game, one that favors them. As T-Chili has a shot for another goal, but it's going to be wishing for that one back right now as Delaware is able to make the save on the goal line. Boost now, their turn. Will get 50, but Yurtis has no boost. This isn't going to be a threat, but does Chili know that? Well, doesn't have to worry about the teammate follow-up from behind. It's going to be S'mores now getting that mid boost, but Chili just breaks right through. Is able to grab a steal. Sees the infield, can't quite do it, and right now, 30 seconds remaining. Delaware, they're going to have to try to find something here soon.
Well, it looks like they might try and find something there. A shot opportunity did arise the moment you were saying that, but not quite able to capitalize on it, and they are pretty low on boost, although TPG did just collect, but with that bump, that's going to be slowing down any kind of attack that they can try and develop. Maybe a 50 here is going to be what they need. TPG heading to the wall. T-Chili trying to read it, but he opts to go down and tries to put it center, but with a diving Texas Tech defense, they immediately shut that down, and they're going to take this first game.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a big one, right? You set your tone early. You show that you are so much better than you felt like you were last time you played. It's a good feeling to have a win after getting swept, especially. And on the side of Delaware, you need this win. It felt like that beginning was 8 shots for a first goal. How many shots did they have since? They had 0. They scored a goal and never found the offense again. That is, I mean, it's kind of mind-bending.
It is, and I mean, I feel like that's just a good way of showing that Texas Tech maybe were just a little bit slow to try and get into this match, to try and make sure that they were setting the pace that they wanted to set. Because, yeah, you know, sometimes you just have some cold feet going into a match, and that makes you a little bit slow. That makes you a little bit unprepared for some possible attacks, maybe just moving around the field at not quite the same speed you'd want to, but they ended up finding their groove and they stuck within it pretty consistently. And, well, they ended up showing through and doing exactly what they needed to get that game 1 win. But we'll have to see if Delaware has any say of it, as looks like we're gonna have a player arriving a little bit late, but nonetheless, we are starting up this game number 2, still on Champions Field, because, hey, this is the championship, and we're all fighting for it.
Yeah, but right now, Delaware, they feel like they don't want to go down 2-0 in these series. But at the moment, it's going to be TPG in the corner with the ball. It's going to be okay, but Slism, the moment I say that, is able to jump on it. S'mores gets the ball out. Next person up, TPG, trying to get that redirect. It's going to be very vertical, though. It's really not an issue here for Texas Tech. And Chili, low boost, is able to technically put a shot, but it's not really truly one. Big clear out by TPG. Tries to stick around. Maybe get a bit of physical harassment on the side of Slism, but they will be there still for the 50. And right now, it's feeling fairly okay if you're a side of Delaware. There's a bit of a miss from Texas Tech, but no true opportunities here in the first 30 seconds.
I don't think so, and I mean, no true opportunities, but maybe a little bit shaky on the defensive end. A pop-up going to go through here, and I don't think anyone is really rushing to jump onto that. Slism able to get the touch, but no real follow-up coming through. Both of these teams, again, just starting to make sure they're setting their pace up. Slism gonna go for a shot, but immediately gets bumped, and S'mores might have an air dribble opportunity here. He's gonna stay behind it. Maybe a bump coming through. Not quite gonna make contact, and yeah, I think that this Delaware team starting to have a little bit more pressure, something we saw at the beginning of that last game, and we'll just have to see whether or not they can hold on to it, because this Texas Tech team, they're able to bounce back really quick if you give them an opportunity.
Yeah, I think the thing I'm seeing from Texas Tech that I'm kind of liking a lot is, I was about to say that the shots that have been put on their side have never been truly worrying, but the moment I said that, there was a save that had to be made on the edge. But right now, Slism, even no boost, there's not really an issue going on. The infield goes to Moose, and there's plenty of space for that, but right now, though, it's another opportunity, but again, it's just another 50 that really isn't something that Texas Tech is fearing, and another 50, and it's just lateral to the sideline. There's a teammate there that's ready for it. Chili's trying to clear this out, but low boost will suddenly mean that there's a bit of worry, and especially with a 50 like that where S'mores has the ball, has a teammate infield. It's a couple misses, though. It's a bump on that teammate, though. That was a big chance for Delaware. That just went wrong.
It was, I mean, I don't want to sit here and start saying that it seems like most of these attacks just keep falling short, but so far, past that one goal we saw earlier, it doesn't seem like anything's really following through properly, whether it's a Texas Tech opponent that seems to be in the right spot at the right time, or maybe just a little bit of inaccuracy relative to their shooting. They're still trying to get themselves set into this match, and I mean, I was talking about Texas Tech being the one with the slow start, truthfully, I feel like it might be Delaware in this case, as I feel like they're getting a decent amount of pressure. They're just not capitalizing on it.
Yeah, but right now it's been 3 minutes of gameplay though, and both of these teams have not really. Actually, well, I mean, not really. Neither of them have a goal, but Chili's trying to see a teammate over their middle. Slism gets a touch, but Yurtis will just be able to jump on it. It's a good follow-up, though, but the shot won't be true. It's going to be Moose trying to go for a sidewall. Doesn't get it, but Slism trying to put it back over to the sidewall himself. Middle, can he put it down with the ceiling shot? Will put it center. Yurtis is able to beat out. It's going to be Moose's turn. No boost, but sees a teammate high. He's going for it. Yes, he is. Chili, can you do something? Put it straight down. Slism is not there to respect it, but the moment the shot goes on, S'mores is able to cover. It's Moose's turn. It's going to be off target. It's going to be a chance by Slism off. It was a close one. It was a difficult one, and it's one that they don't have.
Yeah, that was probably the best opportunity that I think we've seen this entire game so far for either of the teams, and it was on the Texas Tech side, which, again, I feel like this is speaking a lot to the fact that Texas Tech, they might sit there and they might be on defense a decent bit of time. They might be sitting there sort of reacting to plays a lot, but they are...
What were you saying?
I wasn't saying anything, actually.
You weren't saying anything.
I wasn't saying anything.
Right.
I wasn't saying anything. No.
Yeah, in the end, Delaware, they've had a couple shots in this game. There was a couple of moments that they feel like they could have had. They finally get there first. It's a lead for them. And with how this game's been going, they're glad to have that lead. But honestly, Texas Tech, we saw it last game. They made one quick. The Chili's trying to make it quick. It's going to be a shot that's high. Will be cleared out, but Yurtis is able to follow through. Trying to go for it. Has to deal with a teammate. Moose trying to take a 50. Will go high. It's going to be Chili there. A minute remaining, though. But an awkward touch like that, time will be burnt away. And Texas Tech, they're the ones that are in the deficit with the time crunch.
Indeed, I mean, this is very reminiscent of what early on game one looked like, so not unfamiliar with this sort of scenario as Yurtis, he's going to be dribbling, and with a nice flick, that's going to go left, and I don't even think that hit the post, but a beautiful shot in, capitalizing on that 1v1 opportunity, and they're going up too.
Yeah, and I mean, a 2-goal lead, we haven't seen that one yet this series, and here in game 2, with this much time remaining, it feels like a good one. Are we going to see anything off the kickoff shenanigans? No, not quite. It will be Slism though on the ball. He's trying to get a reset, I assume. Yes, he does, because he can do anything with it. No, TPG cuts it early. And well done. It's going to be 30 seconds now, and as the time ticks away, Texas Tech, they know they got to go all in. Moose tries to go all in, can't do anything. Yurtis puts it center. S'more shot will be good. 3-goal lead. It's a game 2 victory for the side of Delaware. In all but name.
Absolutely. In that case, just a beautifully placed shot. He knew that that last defender was diving to try and reach that save and said, I'm going to put it as far away from them as possible in that bottom left corner and practically seal this game 2 for Delaware. Great way to respond after losing a decent amount of momentum in that first game. But I mean, nonetheless, this was a great response from Delaware. I still feel that Texas Tech had their opportunities. This might have just been a game that got away from them a little bit. But series is 1-1, and we still have essentially another best of 5 to go.
Yeah, reminder, it is BO7 out here, and with BO7 comes a whole new set of feelings, a whole new meaning to each game. And I mean, for Delaware, it's a good one for them to get, right? A response after game 1. But for Texas Tech, like you said, it feels like something that they should have definitely... It was a game that was within victory. There was times, I think Moose put it a bit high, top right, so Slism tried to put a redirect. I mean, it was a difficult shot to ask for, obviously. But it's like, just moments where it's like, Delaware, they were messing themselves up. There was definitely chances that Texas Tech could have punished. Delaware, you could say the same thing. But in the end, they did score 3 goals. Obviously, that was like, what, in the last 2 minutes? It was like 3 minutes of no goals, right? Something like that, give or take?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah.
So,
Are you saying...
nonetheless, it was a lot of agreeing because, well, it was a little bit of like a fast turn. I think that's a fair way to say it. I think that's kind of the conclusion that a lot of that repeated was trying to insinuate that, you know, most of the game was still this in between, this, I don't want to call it a stalemate because each team are still finding their opportunities to try and build something and to sneak in shots or capitalize off of errors, as was that first goal from Delaware last game. So it's not quite a stalemate, but nonetheless, the beginning portions of these games are relatively close, and it's which team really jumps on the opportunity first to try and get the momentum and get the first move into whichever game it is that maybe is the determinant for whoever wins. So both of these teams have got to look out for that, and I think in this case we're going to see Delaware starting it off again.
Yeah, there was a lot of 30 seconds where it just felt like that was all the side of Texas Tech, but it's TPG in a 1-on-2 is able to beat both players, and that's a lead for Delaware early. But Texas Tech, you had a chance there. You were the ones with pressure, and you just let it fly away. And now they're on the back foot once again. They had this last game, but this time they have time on their side. They don't have to worry about that being an issue, but they got to figure out their offense right now, because other than game one, they didn't really have anything.
No, they didn't. They obviously still had a decent bit of opportunities. I think that's one thing that we're probably going to be saying a lot. I know I'm going to be saying a lot, is that this Texas Tech team is still taking shots. They aren't losing out in the shooting department relative to stats or anything. I know that Delaware, I believe last game, probably took, I think it was like 4 or 5 more
was it
shots.
More? I thought it was like, it might have been.
Was it a little bit higher than that?
I don't think it wasn't crazy.
Like,
it was like
yeah.
pretty normal.
Yeah, so they're not behind in any means. I think that they're maybe making some mistakes here and there that are really just putting them on the back foot relative to getting into this match. And we'll see if maybe they can try to, well, make me eat my words, as Moose sets something nicely on the backboard, and Delaware's defense a little bit scrambled. T-Chili able to place that right in.
Yeah, it's just a well-done placement by Moose. Doesn't get on target, but it's able to make it center. Makes it so someone has to get on that backboard, and in the end, it's now a tied-up game. And this one happens at a reasonable time. It's going to be Moose, though, covering the flip reset opportunity there. But T-Chili with no boost means just trying to go for TPG. Can't quite do it. It's just going to be an all by themselves, but no, Moose gets a really nice touch, may I say. And it's going to be a quick counter here by Slism. It's going to be a shot. No, won't be able to get it, but TPG is now on the ball, and TPG, they've been warming up in this series. Again, it's another pass, but it's going to be UR1 off the ceiling. An opportunity, just pinches it, sort of, kind of, with Moose, and, well, was able to grab the corner boost, and it's going to make this a much more sustainable pressure.
Will indeed. Right now, you're just maybe looking for a flick. Nope, gonna opt for the 50, although there are plenty of Texas Tech players behind the ball waiting to just see what kind of shot was going to be put on net, jumping on that opportunity to stop it as soon as they could. And right now, Texas Tech, they're going to start handling it themselves, see if anything can be put on net, anywhere towards net, to just keep testing this Delaware defense. They know that if they're going to capitalize on anything, it's going to be from a decent mistake, or it's going to be from some of these longer passes that they put upfield to catch them off guard, and that's what they're waiting for. Although TPG maybe not going to let that happen, as Delaware is not letting up any pressure.
Yeah, it's right now, though, going to be Moose trying to cover TPG. It's a bit late on the challenge. They're probably going to get the full-out beat, but not really worried as Chili's able to get this ball out. Getting a bit bumped, getting a bit harassed, but this ball is going to be sideways. First person is going to be TPG. Gets covered early by Slism, but it's going to go high. There's a double commit, but will be cleared out. Double the players, double the chances, as they say, but Slism's able to put it out now. She's showing no, it will be s'mores. Moose, though, with full boost is going to not have any issues with TPG's turn, but Delaware, they've been good. They've been rotating one in, rotating one out. It's just constant method, this constant possession. The challenging, it's a pinch opportunity there, but won't be in. TPG's shot won't be good. She surely puts it to the side. UR1's turn, but 50 again. It's Texas Tech is meeting them on the defense.
They are indeed, and then they might have an attack opportunity here. Slism puts this backboard. T-Chili is up, but Delaware a little too quick at that moment to respond to it, and a demo coming through. That might have been a shot opportunity, but going just a little wide. The last defender for Texas Tech doing a little bit of a backflip to reposition themselves after that shot didn't quite go exactly where they expected. But I think in this moment right here, Texas Tech, they have an opportunity to try and start possessing the ball a little bit more, although this Delaware team, even with as little boost as they have, still just not giving them any time.
Yeah, it feels like defenders in this game in general of low boost have not really let that stop them. It's going to be a shot here though by Slism. It's going to be a weak one. Had a very good opportunity there that he's wishing he could get back. But right now it's going to be Delaware starting their offensive push. Bit of a steal there, but it's going to be T-Chili trying to get a counter, and he will do so. Where did that come from, Yurtis? You couldn't get there? I'm so confused. Was it Yurtis? Am I like just slandering? It's some more. I'm so sorry, Yurtis. I'm so sorry. I'm just slandering his name. But again, it's Delaware. They had, I don't know what happened. It just, Texas Tech just broke through the line.
Yeah, I mean, again, I do think that this game is a lot about just capitalizing on some mistakes that seem to peek through here and there, although TPG gonna try and pass it down here. This is the one time that you don't want to make mistakes when you're down by a goal, and you got to get one more to tie it up. But for the Texas Tech team, that's all basically on the midline or higher up. They're not going to give you any room to breathe. As T-Chili comes from the ceiling, I believe, to try and get that 50 through. We'll see if maybe a follow-up can be had here. Not quite. S'mores unable to possess that in the midfield, and as Texas Tech sits there and looks center, they're going to be able to take this game number 3.
Yeah, it's a big one for them as suddenly another lead in the series, but it's been back and forth. It's not been a one-sided affair. The shots have been completely equal this time. The saves have been completely equal this time. The only difference really is that there's an assist and that there's a goal that go the way of Texas Tech. And I guess a demo. Well, we can't forget the demos too.
Yeah. There isn't too much aggression, I feel like, that is happening in this series.
Well,
I'm not
gonna say, I mean, I think aggression in the term of like physicality, there hasn't been. But there's been times like Yurtis has gone to steal a boost and just like making sure when the player lands that they don't have a good landing, stuff like that, you know? And like they're not giving like crazy respect, especially like in the corners. They've been good with that. It's from Delaware. They've been doing those jobs well, but like in general, I think the boost steals is the big thing that Delaware hasn't been doing successfully. I'd be interested in seeing the stat there actually. What is the boost steal amount for Delaware? Because it feels like it's been decently high for them, no? It's been...
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's anything that I feel like has made...
It hasn't made like a crazy difference.
Too much of an impact. It's definitely something that I feel like is sneaking through every once in a while, because obviously Texas Tech, in that case,
they've been
was the
starved
one
a lot.
that... I feel like they've been starved. They've been the ones on the back end a lot of the time. I remember in some of the early, it was either one of the first 2 matches or just the second match, something like that. They had a lot of saves as compared to Delaware. So they're definitely the ones that are a little bit on the back end, I feel like, most of the time, or at least they're the ones that are playing a lot more reactive when it comes to trying to set stuff up. They wait for Delaware to do something. They try and jump on opportunities, and I mean, yeah, you know, that leads to you being low on boost every once in a while, but if you're successfully going through with it, then, hey, keep going. It's working so far.
Oh, yeah, they're not being like, they're not a proactive team, Texas Tech. I think it's fair to say, right? The moments, they don't make the moments come to them. They just let it happen naturally, as a moment there from Slism as the waves part on the side of Delaware, and 2 players go flying side by side. There is none center to help stop this goal.
No, that was a great way to saying it. That Red Sea was split with that one. Both of the players flying to the boosts in the midfield, and a very easy follow-up there from T-Chili to just make that last touch go in. Although this will be a 1v1 opportunity. We'll see if S'mores can try and follow it up. He does have possess. It does bounce off the back wall, and right away we're back to a 1-1 game.
Yeah, it's a well done one there by S'mores. Just sticks with that ball close, and Moose is trying to challenge out early but can't quite get there. And it's Yurtis cleaning it all up, and a minute's gone by, and it's effectively like no gameplay has happened, but obviously it doesn't feel like that in the player's eyes, as T-Chili's going to try to get there. Will do successfully. Can he get a 50 on Yurtis? No, cannot. It's going to be TPG with 60 boost here. Sticking around, pops over 1, but can't recover this. It's going to be Moose taking his time. The boost, though, gets grabbed by TPG, and with a touch like that, it's not something Texas Tech are particularly in favor of, but S'mores has just been taken out of the sky. An airstrike has been called on his name, and it's going to be Slism trying to make sure this ball sticks around, and it will.
Will indeed, and I mean, a massive 50 center, and T-Chili gonna maybe call it off there, although with that big dunk, we'll see Delaware with an opportunity. Maybe a hand back here, not gonna go through. TPG a little bit behind the ball here, and with an unfortunate touch center, Moose is gonna jump on the opportunity immediately.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one for TPG. Tries to get that boost, tries to get the big greedy end. It doesn't work out well. Perfect placement by Moose, effectively up for 90, and well, it's another lead for Texas Tech. Will be another kickoff goal from the side of Delaware to respond. As a reminder, this game is so much more important than the other ones, arguably, guys. So here it is. Okay, it goes in. I thought that was about to hit the crossbar. As I was trying to say, if Delaware loses this, it's match point. They're down 3-1, and it's going to be a hard one to come back from. You don't want to be down 3-1 3 games in a row.
No, you definitely do not. Although if they can keep pulling off some good responses off of kickoffs, then they might keep themselves in this game. It's a matter of getting that last goal. That, I feel like, is the one thing that they just haven't really quite been able to handle yet. Texas Tech has been the one that has been properly responding to a lot of what they're throwing their way, and truthfully, at least to me, it feels like Delaware kind of has been sticking a little bit to the same plan as Texas Tech. I feel like has them pretty well solved.
Yeah, it finally feels like Texas Tech can figure out what the game plan is. The one that's going to work for them, and it's the answer of cause a bit of chaos on that back line, right? Cause someone to just be not in position, someone to be a bit awkward. We saw demos on S'more. We've seen bumps happening now, and they are the things leading to goals, and it's not going to be a kickoff goal here for the side of Delaware, but the moment I say that, TPG just might have made something happen. It's going to be a bit higher. Big save by Slism, and it will be saved by Texas Tech, but man, did they have to work for it. But it's not over yet. Yurtis is not going to be on the ball, and, well, they're going to have to be careful.
They'll have to be careful indeed because, well, Texas Tech, they just got the ball back almost, I don't want to say immediately, but they got the ball back pretty quickly in response to that.
Oh, here it is.
That was a shot opportunity. Again, not quite able to just get that last touch in. Delaware, I feel like a decent amount of these opportunities are presenting themselves, but some of the execution is, I feel like, just a little bit lacking at times, as we'll have to see if Yurtis will try to make me eat my words again. I think that it's probably not the first time in this series that has happened. Some more shots coming through, but Moose with possess, actually handing it off to T. Chili. This Texas Tech team will slowly work its way into, I guess in this case, more defense, actually.
Yeah, you have to be so hopeful there for a moment, but no, it will be T-Chili trying to get S'mores demoed again. S'mores has been taken out so many times. Got spun out, I think, actually. But it's going to be TPG on those balls. Past one. Can he get past second? Yes, he can. T-Chili's alone on the back line, but is able to do well clearing this out. It's a minute 30. It's less than 100 seconds here for the side of Delaware. Gotta be careful here. You got 2 players low. TPG misses the ball. It's going to be Moose putting it back. It's going to be Slism finally clearing out for Texas Tech. But man, do they make things feel uncomfortable at times. What is that pinch? As I was saying, they're making things feel uncomfortable at times.
You know what? A little bit of chaos is always a great way to spice up a game, right? You know, being unpredictable, but I mean, the Texas Tech is the one that's being a little bit unpredictable. In this case, Yurtis could predict exactly where TPG was putting that, and a beautiful passing play right in front of the net gets this game tied up again.
Yeah, it's a really good one. It's a really quick one. It's a minute left on the clock, and it's a demo on TPG. Again, there's third or fourth demo, I want to say, for the side of Texas Tech, but right now, it's going to be them with ball. It's going to be a double commit, actually. Slism, though, is able to stick around. He's able to get past one almost. It's going to go high. Moose has a shot opportunity. Will be off target, though. That's a big chance that's gone again for another team, and it feels like these teams are both missing opportunities. Maybe the nerves are getting to them, but it's going to be T-Chili trying to make something happen here. 50 S'more. It's going to waterfall down. Who's going to be first? It's going to be TPG. It's into the corner. It's going to be past one. It's going to be Slism. It's going to be Texas Tech's offense, and it's going to be hard here as the final 30 seconds come underway.
These last 30 seconds, these last 20 seconds are going to be absolutely crucial for, well, both of these teams, because, I mean, if Delaware goes down, they have a hard fight to go, and if Delaware keeps this alive, I feel like they might have a decent amount of momentum going for them coming into this overtime. They're the ones that were able to hold off this Texas Tech team for a lot of the game and get all of these moments to fight back. As that goes into the corner, it will pop up. Yurtis doesn't have anything. It is going to go center, and a shot will almost make it, but hit the ground right before we have overtime.
Yeah, the kickoff, though, goes the way of Delaware. It's going to be Euros trying to stop T-Chili. Can't quite do it. It's going to be Moose now on the ball, but that touch won't be there. Chili clears it out, gets the boost as well, and there's no Delaware, actually. Finally, Euros is on. It's going to get past one, past two. It's going to be Slizzum, the one-on-one. Can he do anything? It's going to be off target. It's going to be T-Chili there. It's a good touch. It's one that's awkward for S'mores, and we're in the midfield, but it's Delaware having offense.
Delaware having offense indeed, and they plan to hold on to it. Yurtis still just throwing the ball at the back of the net. Wait, he's still up. He gets one more touch. TPG is following it. He sends it backward again. Wait, is that a double? It is! TPG to make sure that Delaware does not go against in match point to win this overtime, an absolutely crucial overtime. Calls for an absolutely beautiful play. Delaware to take this game number 4.
It's an absolutely momentous one for them, Yurtis and TPG. It's one that they needed at the most important time of the game. It's 2-2 now. It's a tied-up series. It could have been detrimental for Delaware. But now, Texas Tech, they gotta be scratching their heads because they had leads in that series. It was kickoffs going awry that got Delaware back into this one. It's 12 shots to their own 3. That made this difficult. It was their 7 saves. It was Delaware's offense. It was Texas Tech that were just being surgical at times, but Delaware, in the end, they had a hammer. And in the end, there's only so many blows you can last.
I think that's an excellent way to say it. This shot count is kind of absurd to look at. I'm not going to lie, because we only had 35 seconds of overtime, which meant that all of those shots essentially, except for one or maybe 2, were in overtime, which meant that there were
12 shots,
like 12 shots. 12 shots that happened in regulation that Delaware, they were able to answer. They were able to sit there and keep putting on pressure even though they were behind the ball a lot, which, hey, that's a great sign going into the rest of this series as we're about to kick off game number 5. If this is going to play out how it seems to have been going for the rest of the time, Texas Tech is set to win this one with the continued back and forth, but we'll have to see if Delaware has any say in it, and maybe last game gave some sparks to this team, or at least to this offense, to maybe, as you said, be the hammer that they need to be in this series.
Yeah, but Moose is the one on the ball right now. Is able to try to get past TPG. Can't quite do it, but Slizzum's there. Will get cut. It's going to be T-Chili just taking their time. It's an awkward touch. It's Yurtis just... I don't know how Sliz is dead. I'm going to be real, but... Right now, TPG is actually going to be the first one to the ball. It's going to be a shot. Big save. Will be into the corner, but Yurtis is there first. Doesn't get the touch, though. And it's going to be time for Sliz to get to it, but a bit of a backwards touch, and it won't be what he wants. And, well, Delaware, they're back into having possession.
They're back to having possession indeed, and Yurtis almost having a flick chance there. Not quite able to make full contact there. S'mores able to push it out. That is dead center, but TPG following it up very fast. We'll see if he can get a second touch. It is going to go off the backboard, and Moose, I think, a little bit of a miss there, but T-Chili diving in last second to help out. Again, this backboard for Texas Tech, as we just saw at the end of last game, something that it doesn't seem like they're too comfortable with. They might have to maybe give a little bit of focus on locking that down a bit more, as a bunch of players are flying in the air, but yet that ball kind of just safely guided itself to the ground. T-Chili maybe going for a ceiling shot. It is going to be on net. He finds the top right corner.
Yeah, first shot of the game from Texas Tech. First shot of the game from T-Chili, and it's the first goal of the game for Texas Tech. First goal of the game from T-Chili. It's 5-1 on the shot counter, but scoreboard says otherwise at the very top. And, well, Delaware, they're going to feeling like that they had opportunities there that they've lost. And again, they're back trailing. Same as last game. But with this one, they had the momentum coming straight into it. It will be a bit harder, especially when Texas Tech's defense has been as strong as it's been. But right now, they got to be careful of their offense. Moose's shot will be wide. It will be out. S'mores uses all the boost to reach it, but will get there successfully. It's a demo as well. Where are we going to end up here? Will be TPG in the corner. Tried to put it infield, but no. Slizzum's able to cut it off, and we're back to the other side.
We're back to the other side with some bumps and demos coming through from Texas Tech. Maybe trying to pick up a little bit of that aggression we were talking about earlier on into a bit more of a physical form, as might be able to have a shot here. Unfortunate timing as I was breathing in to try and point that out, but it looks like Texas Tech, they're going to be the ones with a decent amount of momentum. Sliz maybe trying to get a little bit of a redirect there. not quite going to follow through, but I feel like Texas Tech, they're getting more chances than they normally do in some of these games.
Yeah, it definitely does. And it was a bit of a fake there. It's a bit of a demo there. It's a bit of another demo. There's Moose.
Wow.
That shot's so high. It's so much time that's bought for Delaware. And an opportunity's lost. Blizzum misses. Moose tries to go. TPG gets it out. It's going to be suddenly a counterattack the other way. A shot into the bottom right. Kingsley cannot get there. T-Chili. It's a tied game for Delaware.
This is a tied game. I mean, talking about aggression just a few seconds ago, maybe this was a little bit too much aggression. TPG able to recover after that chaos on his own goal line to just guide that to the bottom left corner. It was enough to get that goal converted, and we'll have to see if Yurtis might be able to turn something in here. This ball is going to float to the Texas Tech side, but Delaware is still going to hold on to it. Maybe it looked like Smart was going for a 50 chance, a 50 opportunity. Maybe not the shot that he was looking for, but we're flipping fields right now as looks like two Delaware defenders are up. Is this something Texas Tech can convert? Oh, with that awkward defense, they might have, but they do still have pressure.
Yeah, it was a double commit, but it doesn't matter because Liz just puts the shot on, puts the shot in, hits a goal lead at the end for Texas Tech. And like you said, it's flipped. It's Delaware that's playing the defense right now. It's Texas Tech that's got the hammer. They just stole it out of their hands.
He did indeed. I mean, this is kind of what we've been seeing from Texas Tech this entire time. They
Moose?
like to give a little bit of time. They like to take their time. They like to
There you
make
go.
sure
He
that
got
the plays
it.
are coming to them as Moose took all of the time that he needed, all the time that he knew he could take into getting that play developed, and they'll sit there and they'll have counterattack opportunities, and then, you know, maybe they'll only hold on to it for a little bit, but they convert from it. And that's what matters at the end of the day, and that's why they're up 2-1 so far in this game.
Yeah, it's Delaware trying to find the way back into it once more, but PPG gets the grab on the boost before taking the challenge. We'll go up. It's going to be Yurtis there. No, it will actually be a Texas Tech player. It's a pinch out, though. It goes well. It's Yurtis. Redirected. Won't be on target. He saw a vision, though, but as a minute mark approaches, the time gets a bit deadlier, becomes a bit more understanding, but it doesn't matter when Yurtis can just score off the very vertical bounce.
I mean, how many times have we seen a tied scoreline in this series so far? How many times have
It's
we
been
seen
so
a
many.
tied series score? This is an absolute boxing match, back to back, just punch after punch from both teams, and it's only really some last second plays, last second moves that finally gets the knockout for these games. We're gonna have to wait and find out who's gonna deliver the knockout. TPG throwing it toward the backboard. Yurtis is up. He is gonna put it down. Two Texas Tech defenders diving for it, but they won't make it out unscathed as that pinch goes through, but Yurtis immediately there to jump on that opportunity.
Yeah, but that center touch is not going to be one that they're favoring of. It's going to be TPG. It's an own goal. No, it's so close. If you're Texas Tech, but S'more's not done yet. Infield, it will be Yurtis scoring. Less than 30 seconds left. The Red Raiders got to find something here to make sure they're not on match point.
They do indeed. That save was a stretch and a half, just barely able to push it out, but I think that is what made that defense so thin, and, well, it's pretty easy to cut through something so thin when, you know, there's only one person diving for it. If even that, I think by the end of that play, it really just faded out. So Texas Tech, they're going to have to come up with something, but Delaware, I don't think they're letting off in the slightest.
Yeah, but with 10 seconds remaining, you know Texas Tech are speeding things up. That's a touch out. It's going to be, though, Delaware that has control of it. It's going to be infield, actually. It's going to be Yurtis now. Misses, though. It's actually a big chance, but that touch is not one if you want. As a Texas Tech fan, as Delaware, they were so close to being down 3-1. They're up 3-2 in series score, and they're on match point to send Texas Tech to the lowers and make themselves one step closer to the playoffs.
They were, I mean, I feel like we get the same storyline for each of these games. I'm not going to lie, but it's just the ending that changes up a little bit. Texas Tech shows, hey, you know, we might be playing a little bit more behind the ball, but we know how to counterattack and make sure that we're capitalizing on our opportunities. And they end up grabbing the lead at some point. But Delaware, it's these here and there games that they're able to come back and make sure that that method isn't what is going to beat them, because they know they can jump on it. They know they can take these chances to fight against a Texas Tech that seems to be on their back line a lot. It's just a matter of whether or not it shows up in the game. And I think, all things considered, they've sort of broken the cycle at the right time because they're sitting on match point.
Yeah, it's fair to say that they've broken the cycle, but right now, Texas Tech, they're down 1. They're about to be chucked into the lowers. They're about to be properly on 1 life for the rest of their summer circuit lives. But right now, their eyes are on here. Champions Field, Game 6. A win, and they take it to Game 7. A loss, and it's a series over, but that's a dream start. No! It's a miss from Sliz, and the most open opportunity you could have is just gone away. And your Texas Tech, you gotta shake it off right away, ASAP.
You do indeed. There's no time for hesitation as this will be rolling to the corner. Moose is going to get the ball. Goes for a flick. Not quite going to get the kind of touch that he wants as this attack will simmer off. Although a miss on the defense and a jump on an opportunity. Didn't seem like any Texas Tech players were there to try and maybe just solidify that last touch. Although a demo does come through from Moose and a miss from, I think that was TPG. Both of these teams maybe showing a little bit of nerves coming into this Game 6.
Yeah, it's feeling a bit more real. For the side of Texas Tech, it is a loss and you're gone. They're scared to lose. For the side of Delaware, it's a win and you're in. They're scared to bottle it. And right now, there's been mistakes on both sides. There's a shot, though, from TPG, but it will get saved by T-Chili. Recovery will be slow, though, for him, and it's going to now be a chance by S'mores. It will be off target, but it's going to be a boost grab. It's going to make things a bit harder for Texas Tech, but Moose is able to get a challenge well, and it's going to be a bit of time bought for his squad as Slism just jumps on it so quickly. But the boost meters aren't exactly friendly here, but it will work out. And right now, it's a bit of a neutral game, though. The moment I say that, TPG tries to break out. It's going to be Moose getting the save, and it's time here for Texas Tech.
Time for but a moment. S'mores immediately setting up into a position to wait for that flick to come through, and another throw towards that back line, and maybe a shot coming through here from Yurtis. Not quite, but hey, throwing enough shots on net will eventually result in a goal, and if this Delaware team continues to do what they've been doing pretty well so far, I feel like that goal is probably just a minute or so away, although Texas Tech throwing it on the backboard themselves. S'mores missing it, but Yurtis there to collect, and now Delaware on defense.
Yeah, but Moose is not going to take a shot. No, he doesn't take a shot at all. It's completely wide of the mark. And T-Chili gets a 50, but who's going to be first? It's going to be Yurtis. Clears it out. And it's going to be a Texas Tech player finally reaching, but TPG has time in the midfield to just wait it out. Gets a flick pass, but Sliz will spawn in time. It's going to be Delaware again, back on their offense. It's going to be them having this midfield control. This has been the big thing. More often than not, when Delaware's on the offense, they usually have someone in the midfield that's doing their job fairly well. Texas Tech, at moments they have that, but at other moments it feels that it is literally just made out of string cheese. But right now it's an infield job with a big save by Moose. It's still going to be an all tied up game as we pass the halfway mark.
It will, and this ball will jump to the other side. Moose trying to look center for T-Chili, but I think a little bit too far away from the play there. He will be able to catch up to this, trying to put it down, but TPG jumping on that almost immediately. They really want to make sure that this Texas Tech team does not get any opportunities. They know they have the momentum. They know they have the right pace. They've been setting it so far this series, and they want to keep it going the way that they want. And they will keep threatening shots, even if it leads to some defender jumping for it. They know that they have the pressure.
Yeah, Sliz tries to do it himself, though. Can't quite do it. It's going to be a very high touch by Yurtis T-Chili. He tries to read it all the way. Just gets a very late touch, and right now in this mid-line, it's going to be Texas Tech to it first. Moose puts it centers. Yurtis going to just hit this hard. It's going to be TPG, actually might be an opportunity. Can't quite do anything with a teammate there. And now it's a bit more time for Texas Tech, but no, it's going to be TPG, but doesn't have the boost to truly cause a threat. And a heavy touch out means that it's going to be a bit harder for Delaware to cause an offense here, but on the side of Texas Tech, it's going to be Sliz trying to make something, can't quite do it, and there's no teammate there to follow up. It's been the name of the game right now for both of these squads in this Game 6. It's a bit of fright. It's a bit of nerves. It's a bit of idea. It's a bit of their imagination playing with them, knowing that it's so close to a disaster waiting to happen.
I think the disaster might be happening just as you were saying. Slism able to find just a quick sneaky shot. Yurtis trying to get back. Not quite able to get that half flip to get in front of the ball. And With under a minute left, Texas Tech, they're the ones to get the first goal in this game. And, well, one thing they've been doing really well is staying on defense. That's been a big part of their play style. We'll have to see if they can hold on to this one goal or maybe extend it, as some pressure is coming through here. S'more's taking possess. He will opt to go for the demo here, but TPG can't follow up a good enough touch. And that goal difference is going to stay the same as, well, Moose is going to go in for some demos, and this Delaware team, they're going to have to be on defense again.
Yeah, but it's 30 seconds left. It's 20 seconds left. It's a shot out. No, can't quite do anything. It's very high. It's going to be S'mores now. He's trying to take it up. Uses all his boost, though. Doesn't have anything. Moose, though, misses. Sliz able to stick around. Knows to just get a 50. The infield shot will just go to Moose. 10 seconds remaining. Delaware are going to try their hardest to try to get this ball to the other side. But it's a missed touch by S'mores. And right now, they're going to have to go to full field on 0 seconds. And infield by TPG. It goes high. It's going to be S'more neck. But T-Chili's are waiting. It's a 50. It's going to be a double down. We're going to game 7.
We are going to game 7. And I mean, I feel like for that series, everything was insanely more balanced than it has been throughout some of the previous games. Before Texas Tech got their goal, I think both teams were just sitting at 3 shots each. And it was just this back and forth that kept happening. It wasn't until Texas Tech got that little series of shots that it finally ran through that things started to favor them a little bit more. And, well, you know, if you're Delaware, you thought you broke the cycle of Texas Tech taking the game, you following suit, but they immediately respond, jumping on a little bit of hesitation on defense, and now you're going to have to defend the match point that you just had last game.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things that's deserves to be pointed out is S'mores had a rough one. 94 points in regulation there. It was not a game to be proud of you or him, but right now, you got to shake it off. You got to look into the eyes. It's one game to determine the entire series. You've been going at it for pretty much an hour now. And, well, no one remembers the first 6. They only remember the last. And, well, now, Champs Field, one last time in this series. Who's going to take it here? Delaware v Texas Tech as kickoff goes underway.
See if anything crazy happens on kickoff. I mean, kind of, in the sense that Delaware will immediately have a shooting opportunity. That's going to bounce off the crossbar, but that second one will be a little bit wide. Another one coming through. That's going to bounce off the crossbar again. Delaware starting off with pressure, but, I mean, pressure that kind of also just faded away.
Yeah, but right now, that's not... It's going to be Texas Tech just trying to get this ball out the moment. Moose to Sliz. Will do so, but Yurtis is able to clear it back in. It's going to be now outside Texas Tech trying to stick close. He clears it out, but no, it's going to some more. Infield possibly by S'more. Will do so, but it's crossing so far. A miss by Sliz, though. It's going to be TPG's turn. Big hit into the corner, but the demo there means that the offense will have to take a pause. It's going to be a little lull for Delaware. As right now, that pinch actually will speed things up quite significantly. And, well, Texas Tech actually are able to play pretty safely.
Will indeed. Pushing out and a little bit of an awkward bounce there. I think it was off of TPG that helped assist that ball to the other side of the field. And this will give Texas Tech at least a little bit of a moment to breathe. But with some quick plays coming out, Delaware is still going to hold on to the ball. 2 players running side by side for a moment. Yurtis is going to hold on to his flip. Maybe try and go for a dunk. He does kind of get it, but some players jumping in last second, and it's going to happen again. Texas Tech, they're holding on right now.
Yeah, but they're holding on by just a thread, but finally they're able to break out. T-Chili's shot will be off. It's going to be TPG hitting this directly out. Sliz, can you do anything? No, cannot. Gets a bump instead, though. Will be a good consolation prize. It's now going to be Moose's turn. Shot is off target. Sliz, can you read there? No, it's a double commit, though, from Texas Tech. It's going to have to be Moose racing to get back, making sure his team does not leave a flaw, but that's another miss in the corner for the boost, and a demo as a return. It's going to be making it so much harder, but Sliz thankfully is able to get this ball out and let his team take time to recover.
Yeah, it's really going to be which team is able to get the more time behind the ball, or at least in the other side of the half, because right now we got that same back and forth we've seen this entire series throughout all of these games. Sometimes there's some hesitancy on whether or not these teams want to follow through. Sometimes there's some mistakes that happen on defense, and right now both of these teams, they don't want to commit too much. They don't want to go for anything crazy past that first little bit we saw in the beginning, and maybe some aggression here. We haven't seen too much from either of these teams. T-Chili going to try and change that. His low boost does get the flip reset. That is going to be in front of the net, but TPG able to stay behind it, and right now, Texas Tech, they're going to be a little slow on getting this offense started.
Yeah, Moose is able to air dribble back in, just buy a bit of time for his team to get ready. T-Chili tries to pre-jump here, doesn't realize that he has no boost. Though a bit of touch there from Slism, is able to beat two, actually. It's going to be on the wall. Can he put it infield to a teammate? We'll center it. Who's there next? There is no one nearby. They are playing this passively. They do not feel confident in their position there, but now it means Delaware has an opportunity. It's a miss by Moose. It's a chance. It's a one that goes astray. And now TPG, though, puts it down there. Yarda sees him. Shot will get covered by Sliz early. And Moose now has time to get this ball out to the other side.
I feel like we've seen this story before. Delaware is the one that it seems to be generating most of these opportunities, seems to be the one who has a decent bit of this offense, but Texas Tech, they always have their moments where they just step in and say, hey, guess what? We've been kind of behind a lot this series. Guess what? All of a sudden, we're just going to throw a bunch of shots at net, and you're going to have to deal with it. As a double commit comes through, it is going to be wide enough, or I should say far enough away to at least delay some pressure from a possible Texas Tech counterattack, and maybe even generate something of their own. TPG getting a shot there, getting a boost steal. T-Chili popping it up to the side. He's going to have to leave it for a teammate. Schlism following it up, but not quite able to stick with it. TPG opting to not use his dodge, opting to keep that possession, and it will pay dividends as another shot comes through. Not quite going to make it on, but nonetheless, this Delaware team, again, holding on to that pressure.
Yeah, well, Slism's able to get a good 50. Yurda's shot will go extremely high. It's a miss there, though. It's an open net. Can they get the back in the rush? No, they cannot. It will be off. It's 30 seconds, no goals. And of course there isn't. Neither of these teams are able to find the way through. They've been nicked. They've been scratched, but they haven't properly made the other side bleed. And right now, though, with final 20 seconds, the killing blow hasn't come through yet. And right now, it's Texas Tech, though, on the back mark. Any moment, it feels like something could go disastrous for either of these squads. It's S'mores, though, shot. Will it be saved? Yes, it will, Moose. But it's going to TPG. Final 10 seconds. It's up high. It's TPG. Doesn't get what he wants, though. Chili's able to cover the save. But now it's Yurtis. Gets a boost deal. Infield. Can he do anything? No, it's a clear. It will be overtime.
I couldn't think about any other way to end this series that has been nothing but punch back and forth for both of these teams, and a fairly even kickoff just to match that tone. And this is the most important overtime these guys might play for at least the play-ins, because this is the biggest determinant on whether or not you're going to have an easy time getting into the playoffs. Yurtis able to push that at least to his backboard. That is going to be in front of the net. TPG able to jump in, maybe getting a little bit of a bump from a teammate, but maybe just a bit more of consolence in the sense of saying good save. Let's get back to it. And I mean, they're going to have to get back to it because T-Chili, he's taking it to this corner.
Yeah, but it's clear out there by Yurtis, but Sliz is going to be the one on it. TPG with low boost, but a good 50 there means it's suddenly a Delaware offense. It's a breakaway. It's a boost steal. It's going to be Moose having to challenge early, but it will go lateral. It will go to Yurtis' way. Can they see a teammate infield? Gets it past one. Sliz there is able to cut it, though, and right now there's a double commit now. It makes it so much harder. S'mores, zero boost. Can you do anything? It will just be a lateral touch. It will be a grab by Texas Tech for the boost, but it's a shot. It's a goal! Delaware, welcome to the MCC. First series win, and it comes at the most important time.
Comes the most important time, and with a lot of fight. It seemed like this Texas Tech team, despite being on defense a lot, just seemed to have their number here and there, seemed to be able to just pick at them at always the right moment, but at the end of the day, Delaware able to capitalize at the right moment and take this overtime for this Game 7 and get themselves, again, as you said prior, that one step closer into the lower bracket for playoffs.
Yeah, it's a big one for them, and it makes their life so much easier. You now have 2 chances to make their way through, and I mean, their bracket, who do they have a chance of playing against? It's going to be an interesting one to watch, right? I mean, I can get up the numbers here real quick for people. I believe we do have it in the back.
I
And
believe they will be playing either Clemson or Michigan C++ in the upper round 2 for the playoff spot A.
yes, Clemson and Michigan C++. You are correct. And
All
wow.
right.
I mean, but I think over there we do have someone who is waiting for us. Am I correct in saying that?
I believe we do. We will pull them in. Hello, hello.
Hello, guys. What's up?
Yeah, what's up, Bowler? I mean,
Much.
what a game to watch for us. I mean, game 7, you guys were able to get the victory there in OT after a 0-0 regulation. I mean, was it a lot of yelling after that goal?
There was a good bit of screaming. I mean, that was our first series win of the entire season. So, we were definitely happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it couldn't have come at a better time. Obviously, now
Of
you guys are
course.
moving up to upper round 2. You guys still have that extra life going into play-ins. That's a nice comfort to be able to carry with you
It is.
as the rest of play-ins continue on. I will just say this is going to be a pretty general question. What was it like being in this back and forth, this constant like tug and pull that you had going on this entire series? And I mean, it came to an overtime in game 7. What was it like being in that?
It's tough. I mean, what we say is like we just gotta keep composure after every goal. After every loss or win, we just reset. Start from
Mhm.
not scratch, but we calm down. We play our game no matter we win or lose. And yeah, I mean, I was telling everyone not to play too passive because that sort of thing happens, and I think it still did happen. As you saw, it went 0-0 like 2 games in a row. But we played aggressive at the end, kept possession, and won the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. In the end, you guys got that victory. But I kind of want to route back to that thing. You're talking about the first series when you guys, I mean, we watched a couple of your games here in the MCC in the regular season. You guys, I think, obviously, if you just look at the 0-3, that tells one story. You guys had a bit of a rough time at times, it felt like, right? You got reverse swept by Kansas State, game 5 to Oku. I guess, does that like wear down on you as a squad when that happens multiple times?
It was pretty wearing. I mean, because nobody ever wants to lose, but at the end of the day, I mean, this is for practice. So I mean, we kind of just look at it, we replay review the games, and help whatever we can, and then we improve from it. So it it was tough, but I mean, we got through, and now we're here, and we won the first game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, winning the first game, at the end of the day, it's whether or not you win. That is all that matters. Whether or not it's a rocky road, whether or not it's a clean sweep, you still got that one. That is what matters. And
It's a
I
start.
think it is a start, and it is the best kind of start that you can get. As you know, you're the first team that we get to see move up and take again that first step into getting into the playoffs. So I think we will go ahead and we will let you celebrate with the team. Congratulations on your first series win, and good luck with the rest
Thank you.
of the play-ins.
Peace out.
Have a good one.
So yeah.
And with that, we got to talk to Pollard here. I mean, it's a big one for Delaware, right? I mean, the relief they must be feeling after reverse swept by Kansas State, a game 5 loss to Oahu, and then getting swept by UCF. It's been a tumultuous road for them. And then it felt like for a moment there, they're about to get another set of heartbreak here in game 7 against Texas Tech, but they were able to overcome it, and their third series point for them here out of 4 possible series, they're finally able to take a victory, and I mean it's one of the most important ones for them.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most important ones for them, it's their first series win that they got. They're doing it at just the right time as these play-ins start getting underway. Yeah, you have a bunch of these teams that maybe did pretty well in their groups. I'm thinking of someone like Okwoo, who still had a 2-1 record in that same group, but still got knocked down into play-ins just because of how all the other teams performed. So even with those performances in groups, it only really matters how you perform in the play-ins, and Delaware, they are off to a great start.
Yeah, they are off to a great start, but it's only the beginning here of the play-ins for these squads. There's so many more games that are going to be happening across this week for the play-ins. In fact, tonight's not over. You were mentioning a fun little team there, Okwoo, a fellow compatriot of the group with Delaware. Well, they will be playing against Michigan reschedulers tonight at 9:30 Central. So I think let's come back to then. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah. Make sure y'all stick around.